Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Today on the T Podcast, it's going to be a great episode. We have Jan Scott Richard, the mayor of Scott, Louisiana, coming on today. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things that the city of Scott is doing, what the mayor is doing, tons of events coming up. Real quick, our studio sponsor is, let me pull that up, OptimizeGP.com, Optimize Generator People. They specialize in whole home Generac generator solutions for your home. So if you are ever afraid to be out of power during a storm outage or electrical outage, I know our electrical systems are sometimes put under a lot of stress, especially during the winter. You can get a whole home standby generator. You can start off pretty simply with it too, like not a big investment to start. It's a big investment in general, but to get into it to start is super easy. I think $600 to start and then low monthly payments after that. But great stuff. Your electricity comes back on during a power outage 30 seconds later. And I've been told that these generators will run for however long they need to. It's a literal like gas powered, not gas, like gasoline, like natural gas or whatever. Anyway, check them out. Optimize Generator People. They're great and we really appreciate their support. And so enjoy the episode. All right, and then our presenting sponsor is Chase Group Construction. They take the lead and become your one point of contact for the entire design build process. So if you're looking to build something cool, new, check them out, chasegroupconstruction.com. Also, they renovate stuff, so if you need to do something from the ground up or with a space that already exists, they can handle that for you. They're building a bunch of cool stuff around town, so check them out, chasegroupconstruction.com. And we appreciate their support as always. And let's get into today's episode. Jan Scott, welcome to the T Podcast.
Good morning. Or almost lunchtime.
Almost lunchtime. It's
boudin time.
Yeah, about 10, 12, 10:15-ish. It's about that time. Most people eat boudin for breakfast.
Absolutely.
So that's the most interesting phenomenon. I think I grew up with my mom going to the store, and it was always a Lincoln boudin and a Coke.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some sort of carbonation.
Yeah, I mean, and it's evolved so much, you know. I mean, truthfully, back like when we were kids, I'm a little bit older than you, was typically just on a Saturday, and it was only during the winter time. We didn't eat it throughout the summer like nowadays. You picking it up pretty much every day.
Oh, no.
Back then it was, a Dr. Pepper. We had Dr. Pepper, and then it was Evangeline made and a Lincoln Boudin. It was just
you had that Evangeline made. We're such a traditionalist group around here. We stick with the same
thing all the time.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay, so for those that do not know you, Jan Scott, and I say Jan Scott because you have a hyphen in your name.
Yep. So
like I don't want to call you Jan because that's kind of a woman's name, but
my first name is Jan Scott Richard. I don't know where my parents were going, but I think Jan Michael Vincent was a pretty big actor in the early 70s, and I guess that we lived in Scott, and they wanted to go with Jan Scott, and so it's worked.
Yeah. Well, so you are the mayor of Scott, Louisiana. You were born and raised in Scott, Louisiana. That's kind of the genesis of your name is Scott.
Jan Scott from Scott, the mayor of Scott. Yeah.
Right. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So you are in your second term for mayor?
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about you. Obviously born and raised in Scott, Louisiana. But just kind of, who are you? Obviously, you came dressed pretty much casual.
70583, boudin hat.
Yeah.
Got my shoes made by Brandy Cavett. We're in good shape.
Man, so you, by all appearances, you just look like a chill dude.
Yeah, it's Friday, so we going to spend some time in Baton Rouge with my son this weekend, so I go casual on Friday. So
yeah, I love the hat.
Absolutely.
God, straight up, man. Okay. So tell us a little bit about you. You're a pretty chill, casual looking dude. Obviously, you look like the mayor whenever you have to look like the mayor.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday for sure.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. So
no, I was born and raised in Scott. Went to all the public schools in the community and graduated from Acadiana in '92. Migrated up north. I went to school up in actually Wisconsin, just north of Milwaukee, a small Catholic school. I was afforded the opportunity to play some collegiate soccer there, and so I did that for 4 years and had a wonderful experience. Got my degree in '97, and I moved on to Florida. Matter of factly, I actually played in the same league as the Swamp Cats. I got drafted into Tallahassee. I played for the Tallahassee Scorpions in that EISL league, and so I migrated there. And obviously, you're not making money playing professional indoor soccer in the Southeast region. I think I was making $250 a week, but I had a place to live for free and get per diem on road trips. But it was an experience of a lifetime, and I made some great connections. But I started working, obviously doing some other things to make some money. I'm just fresh out of college. Thought about going to get a master's and ended up meeting my future wife at that point. But started working at a downtown deli, a block from the state capitol, and so basically the majority of the revenue was driven through delivery of food by foot. And so I stayed in shape, and I was delivering to lobbyists and banks and all the Capitol buildings and Capitol offices. And so it was pretty cool. I did that, and I had an opportunity to purchase it in 2003 after working there for 3 years. And it just worked out. I didn't have any money, but Dad was willing to help me out, and Mom was willing to help me out. And I purchased it, ended up selling it, long story short. Moved to Orlando for a year, and then we migrated back here, my wife and I, in 2004. So started a business, still own it today, KJN's Eatery right there in the heart of Scott downtown. And just felt like there was an opportunity for me to really jump into, and I really wasn't looking at it from a political standpoint. I was looking at it more as just serving the community. I just felt like I had something to give. And so I ran for council in 2010, and I beat a 26-year incumbent. And I had some great, obviously I spent 8 years on the council, really, trying to understand more of what, government was. I mean, obviously I was young. I was 36 years old. You think you know a lot, but you really don't until you really dive into it. And I got some experience, and I felt like I had a chance, and to run for mayor, and I took a chance. It was kind of a timing thing for me. Like I said, I was about 44 years old, and I'm like, man, it's kind of now or never. I felt like I brought something to the table. The mayor I was working with was doing a phenomenal job. I just felt like I brought a little bit more, and I won by 23 votes in 2018. So every vote does count, folks. Go vote always. And so here I am today in my second term, and I feel like I've really earned the trust of the people now. They understand I'm pretty transparent. As you've said earlier, that my report, I committed to doing that once I got elected in 18, and I followed through pretty much every single month since that point for 7 years straight. I've given pretty much a detailed update on all the happenings occurring within our community.
No, like before we went live, I was telling you that we were talking with some friends at the baseball field this past week, how you do pretty comprehensive updates of different events and things happening and developments, and it really comes in handy even for me as someone who tries to stay on top of developments and growth of all of the cities in the Lafayette Parish area, because it's a task to have to like reach out to every source that I have. So
absolutely.
And to reach out to a mayor, like I know mayors are busy. So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, hey, what's happening here? And thankfully, you're pretty responsive, but to see the posts, sometimes I don't even have to text you. I'm like, oh, right there. Look, it's getting close to being finished, or the permitting is in the process. So seeing all that just as a general citizen, that's even really handy, because you're informed.
Yep.
And the mayor is doing all that. And I know Ken Ritter does a great job in Youngsville advertising and promoting Youngsville. Like
absolutely. He does a phenomenal job.
He does a great job. Like Youngsville has a certain personality, but he does a great job. I can't fault him for that.
Absolutely.
And you do a good job with Scott.
You. Yeah, I mean, and you go back to the, we're busy. I think it's incumbent upon us to respond always. I'm going to always be one of those elected officials as long as the people of Scott want me. It's our duty to respond. we're not that busy. We're not busy enough to not respond to the people we serve. And so, like I said, I made a promise in 18, and I hate to say that word promise because, all elected officials use that word, but I said I was going to be committed to giving an update, and I have. I do a State of Scott address every year as well. I said I was going to do drainage improvement plan meetings every year. I've held true to that. I just think it's incumbent upon us to make sure that our people know what we're doing, because unless they're really in it, they don't really know, and people are busy, and so this is an opportunity for them to at least be able to read through what we're doing, see some of the events that are happening, follow the process of some of the projects, and kind of feel like they're a part of it. And so, I think I really think it's incumbent. A lot of people say, "Man, are you too busy?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. Call me. That's what my cell phone's there for. I try to respond as timely as I can, but we're busy, but we're not that busy."
No, I know, and I love the responsiveness. Even though I am an unincorporated citizen of Lafayette Parish,
yeah.
So I feel like I'm in no man's land. I don't belong to anybody, which is the strangest thing to feel, but. I do appreciate your responsiveness, and it's always nice.
Absolutely.
So going back to a little bit about you living in Florida, that must have been an interesting time of your life. Like, tell me a little bit more about that. Like, why didn't you stay in Florida?
We loved it there. I love Tallahassee. Now, granted, I went to a small Catholic school. Now, Milwaukee's a very big city, as you know. I was up in the suburb just north of the city. Beautiful, about a mile from Lake Michigan. It was stunning. The campus was gorgeous. All my friends were phenomenal. Tallahassee was a different animal, man. That is a college town to a T, with a capital T for Tallahassee, capital city. So everything was there to really stay besides family. My wife didn't have any family there, and her family was from the Orlando area. And then, of course, my family was here back home in Scott. And so I think we were, we got married in 2001, and it just evolved. We were thinking about starting to have kids, and I'm like, we have no one here, like no aunts, no uncle, like nobody to turn to. And so we had moved to Orlando, and we stayed there for about a year or so, and it just didn't work out. There was just some opportunities. We had to come back, and so we came back, and it's been a blessing. So, but yeah, Florida is amazing, and I think some of the vision and the concepts that I've tried to bring into our community, I witnessed there. I lived in Winter Garden, Florida, which was just north of Orlando, northwest suburb. A lot of that property that's been developed now and really, taking Winter Garden to another level was property owned near the Disney, and so there's just some things they did there that were just unique. The sales tax base is obviously much larger than ours, but there was just some cool things they did. Their downtown was really cool. Their connectivity, the Orange Blossom Trail, was just amazing. It literally runs from northwest of Orange County all the way through to downtown Orlando. It's just truly, and I know we've talked about that. I know Mayor Guillory talked about that. I know Mayor Boulay is currently talking about some type of interconnectivity, whether it's bikes or trails. And those types of things are quality of life components that people are looking for. But like I said, it just wasn't meant for us to stay there. And so here we are,
Yeah. And you were not working at Disney. You were not doing anything with Disney.
We actually, we were working. Her parents owned the dry cleaners. My wife's parents owned the dry cleaners. And so we were handling the delivery side of the dry cleaners. And most of our customers were Disney hotels. So we would go down to I-Drive, and we'd go and pick up at the hotels, and then we'd, obviously come back, clean press, and do all the good things, and then go back and deliver. So it was a wonderful time. The money was really good. It just didn't pan out, and we just moved in different directions. It's just the way it works. But we've been fully blessed here for sure.
Yeah. So coming back to Scott, and ultimately getting onto city official type work, you said the outgoing mayor was a 26-year mayor?
The outgoing mayor pro tem. When I ran for council, first.
Okay.
He had been on the council for 26 years.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So the mayor of Scott before that.
Right, he was in his second term as well.
Got it. Okay.
He was finishing up his 8 years.
Got it.
I ran against him at that point. Purvis Morrison.
Purvis,
Mayor Morrison, yeah.
Well, so now
he's working in Carencro. He's doing city manager work there. Yeah, helping them a lot with grants. And I mean, Purvis, like I said, Purvis and I had a great relationship. I just, I felt like I could do a better job, and I threw my name in the hat. And it's just part of the game.
Yep. It is part of the game. Well, okay, so I want to go ahead and get my last sponsor in, and then I want to dive into some of the things that are happening in Scott, and I think that'll be fun to talk about. So real quick, guys, Music Academy of Acadiana, that is Acadiana's top music school for lessons in the area. So if you're looking to learn music, or if you want your kids to learn music, if they're interested, check out Music Academy of Acadiana. They're right there by Sam's Club off of Ambassador, founded by a local guy, Tim Benson, who is a UL Lafayette music school graduate. He's also a member of the emo, screamo, early rock alternative cover band called The Criers. I actually have one of their albums right here up on the wall because I had them on recently. Great band, and it's indicative of their work at the Music School of Acadiana. So check them out, musicacademyacadiana.com. Great school. I can't talk about them any more than that because it's just, I'll be talking all day. But anyway, with that, really appreciate their support. Okay, so going back to your work as mayor, we talked about the updates that you do, and I have some of the updates pulled up on my phone, and I want to go ahead and talk about one of the things you have coming up pretty soon here, and somebody was excited about it, is Village Beats.
Yep.
So Rhythms on the River got canceled.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
for whatever reason. And a lot of people enjoyed that time.
Right.
I think it was most Thursdays.
Yep. Thursdays.
I remember going to Rhythms on the River and having a good time and thought, why did we get rid of this? And so it might have been sponsor stuff. It might have been whatever it is. But so tell me about Village Beats. What are you guys doing with that? What is the premise, the goal for Scott? I mean,
yeah. So, truthfully, this concept originated years ago when Robert first started the process to purchase the property to build and develop West Village. I had approached him as soon as I'd got in and said, over time, as the community evolves, as the neighborhood evolves, we need to take advantage of the deep music history here in our community and take advantage of the town square. I think our community was thriving for something of this magnitude, and I think we love music. And I always say that, and he's like, man, what about Rhythms? Well, what about the Mecrady show? What about Downtown Live? I'm like, I don't ever worry about anybody else. I said, because personally, if there's music and there's an event in your hometown, you're most likely going to go there unless you're really following a band of some sort. The reason people in Scott went to Rhythms is because they didn't have anything in Scott. And, when I heard the news that Rhythms was shutting down in River Ranch, I called Gus and Jordan right away, because Robert and I had those conversations with Jordan. And I said, what do we need to do to pull the trigger? He's like, yeah, it's either you or Youngsville. I'm like, no. We're not letting Ken beat us to the punch. So we had some early meetings, and I said, let's pull it, let's pull the trigger and see what we can do. And Gus and his team got involved, and Jordan obviously was on board. Apothecary Shop obviously is a sponsor. The city of Scott is a sponsor. And so just kind of came into the fold pretty quickly. But, this is a pilot series, so this is going to kind of tell us exactly what's going to look like next year. But we're hoping that we can have a spring and a fall series, 3 and 3. And I think Gus has done a great job in trying to promote this, and I think you'll start to see some pretty heavy promotion in the next 2 weeks leading up to it. But the thing I wanted different than Rhythms, Rhythms, you always saw one band. It was 5 to 8. I said I'd like to see 2 different genres of music so that we can try to capture, a bigger audience of people that want to follow music. And so I think our lineup to start is remarkable. Obviously, you got DJ Digital's kicking it off. So, he's just got a great following, followed by the Good Dudes. And then we end the night with Wayne Toop. So you're going to get a good mixed bag of demographics to come on out and hopefully support our community. But we have so much to offer. We have great restaurants. It's a great opportunity if you want to come listen to an early band or go grab a bite to eat and listen to the later band. We have all those good things in place for you. So, like I said, I'm really hoping it's going to be. I don't want to be rhythms. I want to be village beats, and I really think our community's ready for it. I know the development in West Village is ready for venues of this magnitude, and we've hosted some. Obviously, with Acadiana Eats coming up, we'll touch on that as well. But we've hosted some great events, Plate Lunchapalooza just recently. I mean, those are great turnouts in our community, and so we're hoping people come on out on October 23rd.
Yeah. You said you didn't want Ken to get this. And look, I think it's funny.
Yeah, me and Ken have a good friendly rivalry, but
no,
I respect what he's doing over there.
Indeed. I think having a friendly rivalry is always healthy. And I think that's good. And one thing, though, is Youngsville has a lot that they're doing already.
Oh, remarkable.
Obviously, Scott's doing a lot, too. Youngsville just had Lauren Daigle.
Massive.
Kudos to Youngsville for getting that. They have a nice amphitheater sponsored by Slimco. But Scott, I feel like, is in a location that I wouldn't say it's more central, but if you think about ease of access, I-10, I-49.
Absolutely.
I think that is a greater point for people to feel like they can get to an event.
Absolutely.
Quicker and to get out quicker, because let's just be real, Youngsville is hard to get in and out of.
It's tough. Yeah,
whenever traffic is heavy, you have just several small two-lane roads that you have to get out of that city, and it backs up a lot. I mean, school traffic is bad.
I think he's working extremely hard now on the infrastructure side of things. That their residential growth just happens so fast, so rapidly. And I think, I'm not saying it's catch up, but it's trying to accommodate that growth now. But I mean, they're going to handle it. And I said that. That's what I ran on in 18, Live Scott Initiative. It was an acronym: Location, Innovation, Vision, and Economic Development. And I always said that our location was so prime. And I feel like we have done some great things in trying to attract people into our community. Obviously, the interstate exchange is remarkable in regards to the opportunities we have there. The southeast corner has done extremely well with the Fizos, Harley, Don's, the Holiday Inn Express, Rochetto's, all the good stuff. And eventually, hopefully, our future park expansion. But you see the Destination Point. I know we're going to be talking about that as well. But we have the KOA is a phenomenal campground, one of the nicer ones in the area. And so we have a lot of reasons why people, I think, want to come to our community. Like you said, it's easy on, easy off. I-49 is about less than 2 miles away. So, I mean, the interconnectivity and the ability to get in and out of our community safely is really, really, really cool. And it's something we got to take advantage of. And I think we're doing a good job of it.
And ever since the Apollo Road extension opened, I mean, people have been just cruising through Scott. And I think that that's great. Also, it presents another challenge of how do you get those people that are cruising through? They're treating it like a thoroughfare, just getting from point A to point B. How do you get them to say, hey, there's some cool stuff right here? And I think that'll come a time, because West Village is still in its infancy.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, because you have one coffee shop, you still got a space next to the coffee shop that's open, which I am honestly surprised that Mendez's or something hasn't.
Yeah, I think we have. There's some things in the works. I spoke with Jordan as recently as this week, and I think there's some things coming. And it's a prime piece. I mean, but it's still a tough economy. Let's call it what it is. I mean, I think people are still a little hesitant, but I know there's some inquiries into the area. And like I said, I really feel like we're on the cusp. And people, you talk about Apollo. It's It is a thoroughfare to an extent, but I think it was designed perfectly, with all the curves and the ability. I mean, it's not a straight shot road.
No, that's not.
And I think that was intentional to ensure that, we try to get people into these developments currently and then future developments. But the Apollo Road is not even 2 years old.
No.
December of this year will be 2 years that the road's open. So when you speak of infancy, I mean, we're really in our infancy stages of that road and the development along that road. But it's coming, and I always felt like, the growth can't outpace the infrastructure, and I think our infrastructure is really, really sound. We got great arteries in regards to connectivity. Obviously, I-10 being a major one, so we got to try to take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I love about the Apollo Road, I travel the Apollo Road to go to church and into Lafayette all the time because it's opened up a lot more ease of access in and out of Lafayette. Also, just driving through West Village is always nice.
Right.
This kudos to the speed limit.
Yeah.
That is set. If River Ranch could get on board and set their speed limit to 45
yes.
and not 35.
Yeah, I never understood that.
God.
And you know where the cop's sitting pretty much every time you go.
You cross over that hill and you're like,
He's
you better
right
be
there.
doing, if you're going to do
34.
5 miles over, you better be doing below 40.
Yeah, that's
at
right.
least. Yeah. But I feel like the speed of Apollo Road, so I do my little 5 mile buffer. I go, 50.
Yeah.
I set my cruise.
That's right.
Because I know there's cops down there that they sit.
Oh,
and I know.
absolutely.
But I feel like going 50, even 45, but I go 50, and I feel like it's a smooth, just perfect pace to get through Apollo Road.
Absolutely.
Because it's like the perfect speed. Like River Ranch, just
figure it out.
Bump up your
35
speed
is
a
not
little
working.
bit.
Yeah.
But no, they're too concerned with road noise, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So you have a couple other things, other events I think you alluded to, correct?
Right. Yeah, so we have obviously that one, and then Acadiana Eats. We'll be having for the 4th year in a row inside West Village on November 1st. That's in partnership with KLFI and Gerald Grunig and his team, and so super excited about that. I mean, that's always a good one. You got a lot of local vendors that come on out and provide food and drink, and so it's just going to be a great day. And it's kind of, it's leading into that Thanksgiving, the holiday season, and people are, it's like a festival time right now. You got Festival Acadiana this weekend, and so hopefully we follow the trend and people, the weather stays good, and people coming out and support us. But like I said, West Village is really growing. We were talking this week, we had a LEDA breakfast series with all the mayors at LEDA this week, and Sugar Mill Pond's in phase 20.
Yeah.
West Village is already in phase 7, and we're 5 years in. So I mean, it's really growing. People wouldn't think we're that far in, and so some really cool things happening. But again, it's some great opportunities to come on out. We're doing a town hall next week with Julie and Brock and Annie Spell at City Hall. We have a drainage meeting on October 29th as well. Our Halloween in Scott is October 26th. I mean, so we got plenty of events, but October 23rd is the big one, Village Beats, inside West Village off of Apollo, and 5 to 9. Encourage y'all to come on out for that.
Sweet. Yeah, man. Love to hear that. Love the events. Gerald Grunig, he's a
remarkable. Yeah, he's remarkable.
Yeah, he is something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a business celebration night coming up too, or did
we did?
Oh,
we
that
had
already
that,
happened.
Yep, we had that Wednesday evening. It was we recognized 3 businesses. Candyland Cottage in Scott. If you don't know, their fudge is amazing. They got ice cream. They got all the candies, everything you want for your kids to get them on a sugar high. And then we recognize Hang Time TNT Gymnastics. They got a former Olympian who runs that place, Savannah Vincent, doing a tremendous job with kids in our community and outside the community. And then, of course, the last one was Karchner's. Karchner's been there, 5 years already in Scott. And so
that's their first official location outside of Krotz Springs, I believe.
Correct. Yeah. And so they're doing a tremendous job, and they're part of the Boudin family now, and so we recognize them as well. Logan and Willie and Ginger are doing a tremendous job, as well as Doug Miller. So, and they're about to open that location in Youngsville. So
I know
I made some jokes at the LEDA breakfast series this week about that, but they were in Scott first. So, but yeah, things, and then we recognize, of course, the Mayor's Award recipient, which was Robert Daigle. We recognized him for his efforts and his vision for our community and all the work he's done. So it was a great night, and we had our second leadership class. For those that don't know, Envision Scott Chamber of Commerce, 2 years in it, and we kickstarted a Vision Leadership. It's a leadership program focused on the city of Scott and the partners that we do, and trying to get a better understanding of who our partners are and what the inner workings of our local government is, to make sure people understand kind of what we do. And obviously some servant leadership opportunities where we go to St. Joseph's Diner, but it's an 8-month deal, and you start in basically in February and you end in October at a graduation, but similar to what Youngsville's doing, our Leadership Lafayette. But it's a great opportunity for people to get involved in Scott and network and fellowship and learn a little bit more about what we're doing as a government and all the behind the scenes action.
Yeah. Look, I envision Scott. I thought that was a great idea because I know, like you said, Youngsville's doing it. I was a part of Leadership Lafayette's class of, oh my God, class 36. It was in 2023. Yeah. And there's already been like 2 or 3 classes after. It's crazy. It's fast. And it was a great experience to learn, like you said, how the government works, the different facets that are needed, nonprofits, that sector, the educational side, the
public safety,
and then, just government in general. And what people don't realize, some of the things, it was really eye-opening for me. Even though I don't live in Lafayette City, I figure Lafayette Parish, I feel like it feels the same way because it's a consolidated government, how that works. But it was very eye-opening. And so as far as Envision Scott, do you have to reach out to someone and like sign up? And
if you go to envisionscott.com, you can see the Vision Leadership Program is on there. You can, I think there's a little QR code, or you can sign up to apply. We're taking applications all the way through January, and we'll announce the class in early January, mid-January, and kickstart in the third week of February. So it's a great opportunity. Like I said, and the networking and fellowship is really the most important thing.
Right.
You're going to interact with people that you may not on a normal day-to-day basis, and that's important. And and one up from Leadership Lafayette, I did Leadership Louisiana, and it really changed my life. That was in 21, and I met people from all different industry sectors, religious backgrounds, demographics, and just very successful people, most of them not in government at all. And learned a lot about Louisiana that, I really thought I knew, but I was pretty naive to some of the things happening in these big cities and within our state, but got a lot of great things happening. And this is just a smaller opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about Scott and what we're doing.
So you did kind of mention it, and I feel like I want to go ahead and push this through. And Destination Point, which is the Super One area in Scott, that is a big development that it doesn't look big yet. Like there's some big things in the works, and I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about what's going to lead up behind that. So real quick, obviously people know that there's a Super One right there. Right. There's the Tractor Supply, the ER from Lord's, and the construction for Pedro's that started.
Correct.
And I've written about it, but there's a lot that's about to really start kicking up. And if you want to go ahead and elaborate on a little bit of the things, I have a list because you provided it, but Golden Chick and others, tell me a little bit about what's about to
Golden
happen.
Chick, they could be starting construction any day. They've already pulled permits. That's going to be directly off of LA 93. CC's has bought a piece of property directly behind where the Golden Chick will be, in between there and the Super One. And we're told that it's going to be a strip mall, type of scenario with 2 end caps. Obviously, they would be on 1 end cap, and trying to promote some other opportunities for some future vendors in that space. And then Waffle House, we had a Zoom call with them last week. Things are moving well there in their due diligence, but I expect them to break ground early part of next year as well. And so, and then we have it's called Cajun Play. And so Cajun Play is basically a C-store, also with 2 end caps, and we're hearing some different things on what's going to be in the end caps, but it's going to be 2 restaurant themed, establishments within those corners as well. So it's really starting to grow, and I think obviously we need to make some road improvements. We touched on that off the air, and LA 93, they got some significant improvements coming there. So what's going to happen, Ben, is essentially coming off the heading west off of the Interstate Exchange. There's going to be a roundabout at that exit, and you'll have a 3-lane typical section in between there leading up to Renault, just north of Korchner's, next to the grab and go, and there will be another roundabout there. So you're going to have a dual roundabout system with a 3-lane typical section. Right now it's just tough to navigate. There's a lot of traffic. I mean, peak hours is probably backed up all the way past Best Stop, and so we really need to do something. But we think in the long run, obviously the improvements are going to help mitigate traffic, but it's also going to spurn some economic opportunity and get people in and out of Destination Point, and hopefully on the east side, we finally got mod space to relocate. Mayor Thibodeau in Dusson was willing to take them, and they found a great spot over there. I think it's much more conducive for their type of business, but that space is wide open.
You're going to put a Walmart right there?
I don't know what we're going to put there, but we're pushing the retail. The council really wants to see something retail driven there, but there's a lot of space there. I mean, you have 60 plus acres on the east side that is prime and ready for development. So if anybody out there need developers, commercial developers, we got right off of I-10 and right off of LA 93. So, but yeah, Destination Point is finally getting some traction, and it's crazy how it's taken so long. But like I said, we're seeing some movement.
Yeah. I remember writing and doing like drone videos for Super One whenever it started. That was in 2016.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I got my first drone in 2016. That's whenever I got licensed to fly. And I remember, being excited about that. And I was like, man, this is about to start moving pretty quickly. Because I remember when Karen Crow got Super One, it wasn't long. Boom, shopping center, Walmart, just bank.
It's true.
This and that. I'm like.
And that area is, completely blown up. It
looks completely different. I moved here in 2010. I was able to ride my bike. My wife and I were able to ride our bikes down the frontage road by where the Super One was going in Karen Crow, and
not today.
No traffic.
Yeah, not today.
Oh, no. I remember seeing the sticks going up for Super One. I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. And it was like a big open field. Yeah. Nobody ever went on that side of the interstate. Now, everybody is on that side of the interstate. Yeah. Right. And so I think in 2016, I was like, oh, this is going to be what Destination Point's going to be. And it's getting there.
It's getting there. And we, like I said, the ER facility is phenomenal. Obviously, Super One, does very, very well. The Tractor Supply does very well. And I think all of these businesses are really going to thrive. We're in communications now with Capital Outlay and our legislature to try to expand frontage road on either side. Obviously, I like to see both. That's the one thing I think Karen Crow finally took advantage of. They took advantage of the frontage road system, and if Lafayette would have had the foresight years ago, now this is years ago, decades ago, to do a frontage system throughout, it would have been remarkable, and the growth would have been unbelievable.
Lafayette would look a lot different.
It would look a lot different if we would have had the foresight to do a frontage road system, and we, Scott, we had, obviously with under Hazel Myers, they did that south frontage road system, and obviously you've seen the growth. The development in there, we have a very nice commercial park, 500 plus businesses in that area. Then you got the Dons and the Harley and the Fizos, and you got all that good stuff there. But frontage roads are good. They're easy to see, the visibility, the ability to get in and out. And so we're hoping to really expand on the one we have in Destination Point. And of course, we're talking with Capital Outlay now to try to get some dollars to build a frontage road on the northeast quadrant as well, to try to mirror what we have in Destination Point, to really try to spurn some economic opportunity in that eastern quadrant.
Yeah, no, so I think it's going to come. And
I think it's going to come.
And I think it's going to come faster than right now. It feels slow, but the momentum is building up. And I think Pedro's starting once Golden Chick starts, and then all the others that are behind it. People are it's going to feel like whiplash.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah. And then we're going to be doing road construction, but it's necessary, and you got to trust the progress. That's what I say, not the process. You got to trust the progress. So it's, but it's necessary, and you're always dealing with other governmental agencies. That's a DOTD road. It's not our road. But it should have been addressed years ago.
Oh yeah,
and obviously DOTD's gone through some reorganizations. That's probably another podcast. But
yeah, anyway. That's another thing that I'm not too brushed up on. And then I've been sitting here.
Yeah, you haven't even
boudin right here in front of me.
Nibble yet.
Okay,
I got you a boudin ball. God, look at the grease.
I know. I need to get a napkin because I don't want to get any grease on this fancy shirt that His Essentials got for me. They let me have this. Wesley Mayo with His Essentials said, "Hey, come grab you a shirt." And I said, okay, cool. I'll mention you on the podcast a couple times. So this is the second time I've worn it. Great local shirt, great local guys. So check them out. His Essentials in River Ranch. I'm going to grab a napkin so that I don't mess up my shirt.
Yep.
Yeah. But, man, I love what Scott is doing. And,
Thank you.
I love living just north of Scott. Super One over there throws me for a loop all the time. I'll tell you, the Karen Crow location of Super One and the Scott location of Super One are organized very differently.
They are.
Yes.
They're totally different.
The layout's different.
Yeah.
It's almost backwards. It's almost flipped.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so if I go here, then I got to think about Karen Crow. It's here. So
Yeah.
Scott,
gonna-
it's probably over here. It's very
Yeah,
very
very
different
different.
situation. All right, so this.
You got a boudin ball there.
All right, so this
Pepper
boudin
jack.
ball. Look, I love boudin balls so much.
They're amazing. It's
They're easy.
breakfast
they're
of
fried.
champions.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is from Nunu's.
No, that's from Billy's.
This is
I
from
made
Billy's.
2 stops
So-
this morning.
You got.
I love all the boudin places though. I love all of them. Best Stop, Karshner's, Billy's, Nunu's, Don's. I love them all.
All right, so he also.
I brought her the boudins from Nunu's today.
Yeah. So the boudin ball is from Billy's, and the boudin link, which is cut in thirds.
I cut it in thirds for you.
I appreciate that. Is from Nunu's. I have never had boudin from Nunu's, so
It's really good.
I will-
It's really
I
good.
will
They're
be
all
trying
good,
that.
but it's really good.
all right. So Billy's. I mean, it's pepper jack. Yes.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is great stuff.
And he has a Dr. Pepper to
Yeah,
boot. I
the
mean,
Dr.
that's-
Pepper.
Yeah.
You
Boudin
gotta
ball.
have.
A
In the
Coke.
South, we say a Coke.
Yeah, Coke. Yeah, everything was
bites a
Coke.
Coke.
If you had a Sprite, it was a Coke.
Man. Speaking of boudin, how did Scott become the boudin capital of the world?
So that happened in 2012 under Mayor Morrison. He had a vision to, he saw the fact that, majority of our sales tax was being driven by the boudin vendors. At that time it was Best Stop and Don's, and Billy's was starting to show some interest in building and developing there as well. And so he just saw an opportunity. He knew how much, and he had a great relationship with, at that time it was Representative Stephen Artigo and Senator Perry, Jonathan Perry. And so he approached him and he said, listen, man, we're selling this much boudin, and they're selling this many pounds, and I want Scott to be the boudin capital of the world. And so he wined and dined them with plenty of boudin options in the state capitol in 2012. And so we got designated in late 2012 as the boudin capital of the world. And I think a couple of people from Broussard were fighting us, and I think Jennings wanted to be the boudin capital of the universe or something. But anyway, we were designated, and immediately after that, he approached me and the council and said, listen, we need to have a festival. And so that really kicked off. Next thing you know, we had a meeting inside City Hall, and next thing you know, in 2013, we had the first Scott Boudin Festival, and this year it'll be our 11th Scott Boudin Festival. So we encourage y'all to come on out. That'll be April 10th, 11th, and 12th of 2026. A wonderful experience, the best VIP experience in the Acadiana area, I promise you, and all the boudin you can eat.
Shameless plug. Boudin capital of the world, man. It
It's the
really
place to
is.
be.
You think about it now, though. Ever since that designation has been placed, so many places that serve boudin has opened in Scott.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, even Billy's, like I'll remember, like I said, at the restaurant at the time when I was on the council and I was still working at the restaurant, Billy would come in himself, and when during the construction, they were trying to get the building ready, and he was so worried because they were doing the southern roundabout at that time, the construction. He's like, man, I'm so worried, and I don't know if I can compete with these guys. And I said, well, man, I think you're in a great position now, because the traffic, because of the construction, is going to bring everybody directly to you. And he has just blown it through the roof since then. And then obviously you've seen now in 2020 with Karchner's coming in, and then Nunu's taking over the old early space there. That was probably in 18, 19, around the same time. And they got a great product too. Their boudin is phenomenal. So we have 5 vendors within our community. And then also Menards is just outside the city limits. And we kind of consider them part of the boudin family as well.
They're going towards Duzon.
Correct. They're off of Philspan. They're kind of in Scousson. You know, it's not Duzon, it's not Scott. We call it Scousson. So, but it's, you know, so like I said, those guys are doing a remarkable job. All of them are doing extremely well. And it's not really just about the boudin, the specialty meats, all the other things that they offer. And they've diversified so much. You know, I mean, back in the day it was a link. I mean, that's what you got. You know, you got a link of boudin. There was no roll up. There was no boudin ball. There was no nachos. There was no pizza. And now you pretty much get whatever your palate desires.
I know. I mean, you mentioned pizza. I want to say, was it Dino's?
I think Dino's has. I think they're using some Best Stop boudin. They're partnering with Best Stop.
I think it's called the Cajun Violation.
Yeah,
I think it's still called that.
Yeah.
Do you know the story behind the Cajun Violation?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best to recall, but so they came up with a boudin pizza, and they called it something else, maybe a boudin pizza or whatever that was, because Dino's is creative with their names. Well, another company elsewhere thought you stole our idea, and I think tried to
copyright,
do some stuff, and I'm pretty sure Tim Metcalf with Dino's will be able to clarify if he sees this. But so with all the drama that Dino's was getting from this company, he said, fine, I'm going to rename it because I'm still going to do a boudin pizza.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to call it the Cajun Violation because they got a violation letter saying you can't do that.
I love it.
So, the Cajun Violation was born. And, I think they still have it on the menu. I haven't ordered it in a while because my favorite pizza there right now is the parrain.
Yeah, that's with the honey. Is that
the Noni's.
Yeah, Noni's pepper jelly.
Pepper jelly. Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't know if y'all can see on camera, but Ben has a teardrop in his right eye because the boudin is so good. He doesn't want to cry on camera, but it's good. Just so y'all know.
I do have a tear. That's hilarious. Right there.
Yeah.
God. That is true. I'm surprised you see that. Yep. Right there.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Eat more boudin, always.
So it's kind of ironic. Let me just be completely frank with you that the boudin capital of the world also has one of South Louisiana's only standalone ERs.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so ironic because you have all the boudin, all the specialty meats in one concentrated area, and then boom, there's an ER where when you get under cardiac arrest, you boom, right, you go over there, you get stabilized.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that, in time, I keep knocking on that door with Lords as well. I'd love to see them expand on some opportunities there. I'd love to see a smaller scale hospital. That one has 9 beds, but like what you see in Acadia Parish, the little Acadia Hospital there, they have plenty of room to grow, and just the location. I mean, it's so prime. I mean, we not only service obviously Scott, but parts of Carencro. You got the Mirror, Kington area, Sunset. Rain is in close proximity. Even what the northeastern part of Lafayette as well. So, like I said, there's just so many people traveling. But yeah, I mean, you could get a link of boudin and go get shocked a little bit and make sure that everything's still pumping.
Love that. It's whenever I saw that, I thought, hey, perfect place to put it. Honestly,
it really is.
It really is. Because, because we all know. I mean, is it the healthiest thing? No, because I ate a lot of rice and meat, and it was all fried with pepper jack cheese. Yeah. Like
cholesterol heaven.
Yeah, and then I got a Dr. Pepper with it.
Yeah. Hey.
Going hard, right?
That's right.
Okay, so what's next on the horizon for Scott? Of course, Destination Point's the big one. West Village is brewing up. What else can you disclose right now that we should be looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously we are working like many municipalities in the Lafayette area on a sewer plant, but that's not something to really talk about. But it is happening, and we're gonna have to upgrade our plant to be able to sustain any current growth and make sure we sustain what we currently have, and then of course be prepared for any future growth. But I think the big thing coming up outside of road improvements and infrastructure projects that we're working on is going to be the park. Expanding on the park. I was able
Which park?
Okay, so follow me here. So I was able. We have Scott Park is nestled pretty much in the heart of our downtown area, right near City Hall. And it's just a small footprint. It's about 26 acres. And we had an opportunity in 21 with a property owner that owned all of the land going towards the frontage road system, about 37 acres. And so I approached him, I approached the council. I said, listen, we need to buy this property. I said, because if we ever want to expand, our park space, this is a great opportunity, for us to expand it. It'll never be on the size or magnitude of Broussard or Youngsville, but, and I tell those guys often, and they both do extremely well with their parks, is they don't have the location I have. They don't. And I mean, Broussard maybe a little bit because of the I-49 going right through there.
Yeah, but Youngsville is in a unique spot where they don't have through traffic.
Right.
It's a destination park.
It's a destination park. And this one, like I said, we have the hotels, we have the frontage road system, you have the interstate. You have all the restaurants. It's just prime for growth. And so we're working on some renderings right now. Michael Cullen with Land Architecture is probably going to be presenting something to us in the next month or so on what that space could look like from a recreational component standpoint. We need a rec center, bad. And, but like I said, our visibility from the interstate is really, really prime. And so we're working on that. And how many baseball fields we add, I don't know. I know that we're going to have a rec center, and we want to make it, a state-of-the-art rec facility. We also have a deal with BMX bike facility. And so we got some one-time money under Mayor Guillory's administration for a BMX facility, and we've been working with those guys there. And so I really believe phase one will be the rec facility and the BMX park because of the fact that we have some one-time money. And if you haven't been in the BMX space, it's crazy. It's a crazy space, and there's a lot of kids that do it. There's a big following. There's a big, nationally, it's huge. And so we want to create a facility that's going to truly be first class, that can host some regional type events. They have a facility in Gretna. I think they have a facility up north in the Ruston Monroe area, but this one, is basically going to be split in the crosshairs of two interstates. And I think if it's done right, we'll be able to host some very good regional size events and give an opportunity for kids to do something, totally different. Even those that don't compete, they have something that's called a pump track that they typically associate with the actual racetrack that allows kids, like your 9-year-old would be able to, if you had a weekend where you didn't have anything going on, you just put the bike in the back of the truck and you just let them go ride on the little pump track and get out and do something different. Because not every kid's, not every kid's meant to play a ball sport.
Right.
Not every kid is meant to be. Some of them like the skateboarding. Some of them like the BMX. And so we're super excited about that. And I think it's important for us, because my focus has always been obviously growth, not outpacing the infrastructure, but quality of life components. And so we want, and I think all the mayors here, credit to all of them, they're all trying to create this sense of place where quality of life is second to none, where people don't have to leave. And so that's what we're trying to do. And I want the park to encompass everything, not just sports. We got to have some green space in there. You got to have maybe, I think we're going to try to incorporate a small amphitheaters amongst the oaks. And if you haven't seen the property, you really need to go see it. It's beautiful. It's being maintained currently by our public works team. But we have some opportunities. And with vision, like people like Michael Cullen that design parks all over, they did the design in Youngsville. They did the design for the Natchitoches Park. If you haven't seen Natchitoches, oh my goodness, it's nestled amongst the hills. Man. It's stunning. But these guys have a vision that we typically don't see. We're as elected officials. So, but like I said, we're trying to create a space that welcomes all. That's all inclusive. And so stay tuned for that. I think you'll start to see some movement here probably within the next couple of years, specifically on the BMX and that rec facility. And then hopefully if we incorporate some baseball fields, 2 more, we want them to be kind of interactive and something totally different than what you would see anywhere else in the area. Maybe a replica of, a major league park of some sort, or maybe an outfield fence, but not necessarily seating on the outfield, but berm seating where people can sit on the grass and watch the game, where we can create an experience more so for people. And so, this was all feedback we got from the public. We hosted a meeting in March, and they gave us our feedback, and then Michael took all that information, and he said, man, they want this. I mean, there wasn't many things that they didn't want. It's just how we're going to incorporate it, because the space, 37 acres, you're like, oh, man, you can do whatever you want. Youngsville's first phase before the amphitheater was 78 acres, so it's a different space. But like I said, we could have a better Scott Park, and we have a prime location that's super visible that we think could be great for growth.
Yeah, and that's the park right there, right off I-10, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
right
with
off
the two or three baseball fields.
No, we have 9 baseball fields in there. We have.
I guess whenever I think like
that
circles,
you can see.
The quad.
The quad, yeah. You got 4 right there, and then you got 2 T-balls, and then we got 2 little rag ball fields. Yeah. So
we actually played one of our Bennett, so my little boy, he's in sports, and he plays ball, and we played one of our all-star years there. It was great. It was a nice little park.
Yeah. It's a clean little park, and doing some cool things. But like I said, this will be a wonderful opportunity to kind of grow that recreational space and put some cool things there and try to make sure it's all inclusive so we get everybody in there.
The BMX thing, that's
really
interesting.
Cool.
So this would be outdoor BMX?
Mm-hmm. Outdoor BMX.
With half pipes and all that good stuff?
It's mainly jumps and ramps and curves and turns, but it's the BMX, the local BMX following is crazy.
Yeah, I mean just in downtown, I say near downtown, Magnolia BMX, where they have an indoor BMX facility where they have ramps and half pipes, but like different things, and like you could what do they call it? Shred or
whatever the term is.
Whenever I was little, we had BMX bikes. My little boy, he has a BMX style bike. It makes me nervous. But you know what? It's one of those things where kids will do, and even adults. There's some adults that ride BMX, and they do some amazing stuff.
Things. It's true.
I can't do half of that.
Yeah.
I'm not coordinated enough. I guess I could use some training if I really wanted to.
Yeah, the outdoor sports is just different, man. There's so many things nowadays that people do outside of just a regular ball and bat, type of scenario.
I know the baseball is the entry level to sports.
Absolutely.
I mean, BMX and skateboarding, that's been around forever, but I mean, it's extreme stuff.
Sports.
I mean, Red Bull, you used to see the stuff that Red Bull does.
Absolutely.
Does Red Bull even sell drinks anymore?
I think they just sponsor
half of what
events.
they do is like extreme sports.
Yeah.
It's wild stuff.
It gives you wings.
Yes, it does. Well, speaking of wings, hopefully after you eat more boudin, you don't get your wings. You just keep eating more boudin until one day
you can't.
You go get wings.
That's right. You go get your wings. Heavenly wings.
Yes, man. I loved having you on. This has been enlightening. I'm excited for the growth of Destination Point. Obviously, I think a lot of people are. I think if you have any pull, Mr. Mayor of Scott, people want Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Or Raising Cane's right there.
Do.
But Golden Chick is going to be cool.
I think Golden Chick's going to be cool.
I think people that want Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A want it just because the brand recognition, but they haven't tried Golden Chick yet. Yep. And I don't know if I know we wrote about Big Chick coming. I don't know if that's still a thing yet.
I don't know exactly if that's gonna be one of them in those end caps that I'd mentioned, but
it's still up in the air.
It's going to be 2 end caps with restaurant space, but I don't know if Big Chick is going to follow through or not. I think there was some agreements within the development itself on multiple chicken places in that space.
I know, because for a second there, I thought, man, Destination Point's going to have chicken, and chicken.
But, like everyone's like, I can't believe another chicken place. I'm like, well, we have 5 boudin places.
Right.
And they're all doing well.
Yeah.
And we already have 2 chicken places.
What's
and
wrong with
who
more
cares?
choices?
Yeah, just give us more choices. We love more choices. But, it's like I said, it's all good. It's gonna pan out, and I think that area is really, really gonna take off. As you can see, it's starting to.
Yeah, and I think once the road work happens, I think people, you know this all too well, and I see it in the comment section. People will complain about anything.
Yeah.
Right now, people are complaining that the road is too narrow, is too congested. Once work happens on the road and there's construction, people are going to complain that there's road construction.
Absolutely, no doubt.
And then finally, whenever it's done, people will be like, "Oh, it took a little while to get here, but it's so much better."
Absolutely. Got to trust the progress, folks.
Yes.
Got to trust. And, going back to, I got to say this on air because I think whoever's watching, hopefully they share it, is everybody wants the Canes and the Chick-fil-A. Site selection criteria, my friends, is very serious. It's real. It's very real. These people don't just go and look and say, "Oh, he's in the interstate. It's Scott, Louisiana. They're off the interstate. There's a parcel. We're going." There's so much more detail. These companies, and I've come to really learn that more as I continue my term. And there's so much specifics that these companies are looking for. These franchises, the Trader Joe's, the Buc-ee's. There's things they're looking for. There's median income. There's demographics. I mean, everything, like the proximity to X, proximity to competition. I mean, all of that stuff comes into play. So we're all fighting for it. Trust me. I mean, there's not one mayor in the Lafayette Parish area that doesn't want all those things. It's just not as easy as you think. And so, but like I said, we keep knocking on doors but if you don't believe in site selection criteria, it's a real deal, and it's a real thing, and you just got to trust the process.
Yeah. I try to tell people that. People think that developing Lafayette has enough wielding power that I can drag and drop businesses where I want. And they
Come on, Ben.
Look, and the way the comment sections go, so Buc-ee's being a big one, or anytime a restaurant goes to the south side, there's always either one side of the parish or the other will always be like, how come they got to put everything on this side of town?
Right.
They is not doing it.
That they is not doing it.
The city, whoever is not doing it.
No.
It is these businesses that say, hey, this is where money and traffic is.
Right.
Boom.
That's where we're going.
This is where we're going.
That's true. Traffic count, all that stuff is part of that criteria. And there's some specifics. And I'm not saying all the thresholds have to be met, but if some of them aren't, then it's just not going to be something on their radar at that particular time. Like, it's funny, we went to a retail conference in Dallas early part of this year with my planning facilitator, and several of the other mayors. Mayor Ritter was there, Mayor Clavier was there, some people from LEDA. And it's interesting when you talk to some of these franchises, and we're telling them where we were. We had these market guides showing, all the businesses currently off the interstate. And one of them was the Dutch brothers, and he's like, we're not even looking in that area. We don't want nothing to do in Lafayette. And I'm like 2 months later,
Boom.
We see them, they're there. I mean, so, and some of them are under NDAs and they can't really disclose everything. But like I said, there is a process. But we're knocking on doors. Trader Joe's, I'm going to tell you, me and my planning facilitator, Miss Bonnie Anderson, we were emailing them monthly because we felt like right off the interstate it would be prime. There was some
spot.
great, they would be able to position themselves well. But, they looking for a certain space, and they found that space, and I think they'll do well there. But there's always something behind that site selection criteria that people don't understand.
I know. Not like River Ranch area doesn't have 8 grocery stores already.
Right.
But that's besides the fact.
Hey.
They need to upgrade their speed limit on Camellia Boulevard. Just
45,
FYI.
okay?
Go to 45, please. A couple comments that came through. Bead Busters. Craig over there.
Spadoni?
Always thinking outside the box. Scott is where it's at. Shop Scott and eat more boudin.
That's right.
And then he goes on to say, the bead king. I was going to say the boudin king.
Yeah.
Sir, if you get into boudin, you're the boudin king at that point.
Beads and boudin.
Yeah.
That's not a bad combination.
The bead king at Bead Busters on Cameron Street in Scott may need to buy a BMX bike.
Hey.
Look, if you get on a BMX bike, I want to see that.
Yeah. Got to wear beads.
Indeed. And then CGO off of YouTube's. God, I don't know what CGO stands for, but he says, great point at the 11, I forget what mark, 11:11. So
Yep. Might be
just 3 or 4 minutes ago.
criteria.
Yeah, site selection, maybe that was that point. And then Hargraves, Plumbing LLC, businesses have to go where they will make money. Simple as that. Love the pod.
Yep.
All right, appreciate all the comments, guys. Jan Scott, thank you for the banana. I will tap into the new news one and let you know what I think.
Let me know.
I was going to do it now, but I
You're
just
full.
had this one, and I'm going to
He's
pace
still
myself.
wiping those tears from his eyes.
I know. Look, I'm a big fan of Billy's. I know there is a whole boudin war out there with who thinks they have the best boudin and who.
Yep.
Like if you say one place has the best, there's another mom and pop somewhere else going, oh no, this place has the best place.
Yeah.
The best stop is the best. Or, Karshner's. A lot of people say Karshner's has some of the best.
Their boudin is phenomenal.
Yeah.
They got a great product there. Their ribs are phenomenal too. If you haven't had their fried ribs,
No.
oh my goodness, Ben.
I know I'm lacking. I'm
Ben.
lacking right now.
Hey, their fried ribs are phenomenal. Best stop, their boudin, their roll-ups, their boudin. Everything there is good. Don's the same thing. Don's has some boudin tater tots. Those are phenomenal. He does the nachos. All of Billy's just recently, because in the Vision Leadership class, which I encourage y'all to go to envisionscott.com and sign up and become a part of it. We do the boudin crawl to finish the session before we graduate, which was this week. So our September class is called the Boudin Crawl, where we actually go to all the boudin vendors. They get a tour, the Best Stop processing plan as well. And so we stop at Billy's and Best Stop and Don's and have the owners basically tell us their story. And so it's pretty cool. And Billy's just came out. You won't believe it. And I should have brought you one. I completely forgot. Just like the ball, but with red beans and rice with sausage.
Oh, my law. Red beans and rice and sausage ball?
And a sausage ball.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. So we just kick-started, just so y'all know, Envision Scott just kicked off Taste of the Tracks. And it's similar to the Eat Sweet week that they do in Youngsville, where you come by City Hall and you get a passport, and they have 21 restaurants and vendors throughout the Scott area that are participating, and there's specials. You fill up a passport and you'll be eligible for a grand prize of a full weekend VIP for you and your spouse or your significant other at the April 10th, 11th, 12th, 2026 Scott Boudin Festival. So that would be awesome. And you get a 3-night stay at the Holiday Inn Express in Scott as well. So a lot of great things happening, man. It's really, really cool. I'm super, super proud of it to be the mayor. And we got a great team of people, though.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, you do great work, man. I appreciate you. Love the hat, by the way.
Thank you. Boudin, upside down.
Where can people get a hat like that?
Matter of fact, I made this. So
you made that?
Let me tell
it's
you.
exclusive.
Yeah, let me tell you the story behind that. So, you get all these ads on social media when you're on it, and so they had one. It was called Code Word, and it was a blue hat, and it had the white rope, and then it had HOU upside down in the Astros colors. Like the Houston Astros. I'm like, man, it's cool. I clicked on it, and it said you can, build your own upside down hat. So I built myself an upside down boudin hat, and I got one that says Scott on it. I got one that says K-Jans on it, and so it's just me. My style is kind of funky, but I love it.
Yeah,
Got the 70583.
Yeah, the shirt.
Repping the Scott zip code.
And then the shoes. Let me see.
Oh, look.
Hold on. Let me pull down on the camera here. All right, show the shoes.
Look.
Show the shoes.
Look at these. That's Miss Brandy Cabot with
Turn
Shoe
them a little
Fly.
bit.
Look. How about I do this?
A little bit. There you go. It's
Look at that. Shoe Fly, some Nike Airs. Miss Brandy Cabot and Miss Amy Jones Kane just recently started that. But anyway, my style's a little different, but that's okay.
Yeah, love it. Well, man, I don't want to keep you anymore. I think this has been a great episode. We got a few comments that were coming in. That was awesome. Got to have some boudin for breakfast, kind of midday, almost lunchtime. Appreciate that. Man, last time we were It was like COVID era.
Yeah, we were Zooming. Yeah.
And now we're in person, and this is solid. I wore a nice fancy shirt from His Essentials, by the way, thinking that you were gonna have a suit on. I was like, oh, let me put on a good little shirt.
It's casual Friday.
And I'm over here and seeing you in your t-shirt. I'm like, I should have wore my funkiest t-shirt.
Yeah.
All right, but no, I love this shirt,
it's
and I
nice.
love the fit that you have. The shoes are great.
Thank you.
With that, man, I look forward to seeing what else Scott does.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be following along with all the updates that you send out, and don't be surprised if I ping you to talk about the BMX thing. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
in a couple of years or less, we can see some development on that.
I'm really hoping so. So
Yeah, man.
stay tuned. I appreciate the opportunity, and Scott's Hot is it's the place to be. So come enjoy the boudin capital of the world, and then, as I always say, eat more boudin.
All right. Well, guys, that is it. That's the episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Check us out next week. We're going to have another guest. I have to look and see who they are because I have them booked out to like 3 months in advance. And so with that, Jan Scott, have a great weekend. And like you said, eat more boudin.
That's right. Eat more boudin, guys. Have a great weekend. Festival Acadiana.